Weather News Bulletin, Big Picture Outlook. Early September 2025. Good day to our viewers tuning in to the Weather News Bulletin. We've entered the first days of September, a notoriously sensitive period for Northern Hemisphere climate. This is when summer closes, autumn officially begins, and the atmosphere often shifts abruptly. This year's weather picture is even more complex, with two major highlights: a new tropical wave off West Africa steadily moving into the Atlantic's main development region, MDR, where it has a strong chance of becoming the next named tropical storm, Gabrielle, and a surge of cool air from the north preparing to sweep into the United States, notably lowering temperatures after a stretch of late summer heat. These aren't just abstract meteorological events. They can have wide-ranging impacts on millions, from safety and agriculture to transportation and everyday activities such as school, sports, and travel. Today's bulletin will examine the science behind these developments and their social implications, so you not only know what's happening but also understand what it means. Tropical wave in the MDR, Gabrielle candidate. First, to the waters off West Africa, where a new tropical wave has been identified. The MDR, the main development region, extends from West Africa toward the Caribbean and is considered the cradle of many of the Atlantic's most powerful hurricanes. Iconic storms such as Irma, Maria, and Florence originated here. At the moment, this tropical wave is in its infancy. Satellite imagery shows a stretched band of convective clouds. The low-level center isn't yet aligned with the main thunderstorm cluster. That's common early on, when a system first forms. The spin and the convection often sit offset from each other. Many cyclones have emerged from precisely this kind of early messiness, later tightening up and strengthening into storms. According to the latest NHC outlook, the probability of development into a tropical depression or storm within 7 days has been raised to 60%, high enough to demand close attention. If named, the system will be Gabrielle. A key detail: it's moving very slowly. Slow movers can harvest ocean heat longer, favoring organization, but lingering at low latitudes also raises the chance of a more due west track toward the Antilles or the Caribbean. Hence the advice from many forecasters: watch closely. But don't panic. Environmental drivers. Tropical development depends on several ingredients. In the MDR right now, sea surface temperatures hover around 28 to 29 degrees Celsius, easily sufficient to fuel convection. Vertical wind shear, which can tear apart developing systems, is moderate, not overly hostile. Mid-level moisture looks adequate, but the Saharan air layer, SAL, could intrude at times, drying the environment and suppressing growth. SAL is a frequent early-season wildcard that slows organization. If the wave clears the SAL gate and sustains persistent convection wrapped near its center, odds of becoming a depression or tropical storm rise sharply. If convection keeps getting stripped away or dried out, the system could fade. Model guidance, differing narratives. Global models tell different stories. ECMWF, Euro, known for caution, favors slow development, with several days needed to consolidate a core. It then nudges the track west-northwest and suggests a recurve out to sea later on. GFS, US, is more eager, repeatedly showing tropical storm formation by this weekend. In that case, Gabrielle forms earlier and stronger, likely seeking higher latitudes sooner, less risk to the Caribbean, greater proximity to Bermuda. Icon, Germany, and CMC, Canada, take a middle road, moderate strengthening. A turn west-northwest after 5 to 7 days. Less aggressive than GFS but not as conservative as Euro. Most importantly, ensemble runs, many parallel versions of each model, show spread. A majority bend Gabrielle out to sea if it forms, but a minority keep it low latitude, closer to the Antilles. That's why the NHC stresses that all possibilities remain on the table, especially September 7 to 12. A sensitive window for the Caribbean islands. Key public questions. Will it make landfall? Too soon to tell. When will we know more? Expect better clarity in 2 to 3 days, once a stable low-level center forms. Should we prepare now? Residents in the Caribbean should adopt a soft readiness posture. Check water, batteries, and important documents. No need to rush or hoard supplies. But don't be complacent. What about the U.S. East Coast? Not a concern yet, but from around September 10th onward, if Gabrielle strengthens without recurving, a closer approach becomes more plausible. The cool air push in the United States. While the Atlantic stays busy, the U.S. mainland is gearing up for a pattern change. A northern trough is slipping south. The CPC 6 to 10-day temperature anomaly map shows deep blues from the Great Lakes into the northeast, ground zero for the cool down. Compared with forecasts a few days ago, the trough now looks shallower, not diving as far south. Result: the north and northeast turn noticeably cooler, while the south remains hot. Expect 2 waves of cool. Midweek, a lighter push focused on the northern tier. Weekend, a reinforcing surge for the Midwest, with anomalies of 18 to 25 degrees Fahrenheit below average possible in Kansas, Oklahoma, and nearby areas. Meanwhile, Georgia, Alabama, Florida likely hold near 90 to 95 degrees Fahrenheit. Daily life impacts. Northern residents get crisp mornings and pleasant afternoons. College football in the Midwest, Northeast could kick off under unusually cool early September conditions. Southern audiences still face heat stress, hydrate and take sun precautions. No frost issues yet for agriculture, but frontal rains could boost soil moisture. The West eases out of extreme heat, but wildfire risk persists in dry mountain zones. Today's national snapshot. Upper Midwest, a frontal band with showers, storms, gusty winds, and lightning. Southwest, as California, monsoon thunderstorms with flash flood potential in urban deserts. Southeast, scattered late-day storms, a weak offshore disturbance may add coastal showers. West, some lingering heat, fire alerts. But a cooling trend is underway. Northeast, largely dry and pleasant under high pressure, with a few isolated coastal, New England showers. Closing and community message. 2 big takeaways. A new MDR wave with a high chance to become Gabrielle, and a cool air surge reshaping U.S. temperatures. For Gabrielle, most scenarios favor a recurve, but the Caribbean risk tail remains. For the U.S., the north and northeast cool down, while the south stays hot. The right posture now is vigilant, not fearful. Keep basic plans current and follow updates from the NHC and local meteorological offices. If you found this bulletin helpful, please subscribe, like, and share. If you have a prayer request or need community support, leave a comment. We and thousands of viewers will stand with you. Thank you for watching. We'll return with the latest on Gabrielle and the evolving early autumn weather picture.